Well, allow me to recommend Zach Morris. He's cute, warm, and affectionate.
Hello my exciting Keefs, my name is Patrick and welcome to Fun with First Names, where each week we look into the meaning, origin and some extra fun facts behind one specific first name. And this week we're looking into the first name of Zachary, but I'm probably just going to say Zach for this video because I prefer Zach to Zachary really, but it's Zachary, Zach, you get the gist. Though of course at the start of these videos I like to give a big shout out to everyone who's become a patron in the most recent week, and this includes 8-Ball BMW and RG Mini Lapland Wolf. That was just one patron's name, but I don't know how many people that include, but thank you. And Way More Oddhe. Thank you guys both so much for joining Names from Patreon. It's the best way to support the channel. If you want to have a say in what names get explained and just have loads of extra goodies, ad-free videos, all that kinds of stuff, there'll be a link down below, patreon.com/nameexplain. $1 is all it takes. Thank you guys, yeah, thank you very much who do become patrons. And thank you to everyone who's become a patron in the past, because it means so much. Even if you were a patron and no longer a patron, it's helped out the channel in such a huge way. This wouldn't be happening. This is in, I don't know, just me in general. This, I guess I should put it to. This wouldn't be happening if it weren't for all you guys. Thank you all so much. Anyway, on with today's name of Zachary, or Zach as I was saying, and this name is ultimately of Hebrew origin. Originally in Hebrew, this name was Zechariah, and this name means God has remembered. Most of these Hebrew names relate to God in one way or another, so no different here, I suppose. And then from Hebrew, this name was adapted into Greek with the name Zacharias. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Probably not. Who knows? And then from Greek, it was adapted into the English name of Zachary as we have it today. Clearly, this is a name with deeply religious roots coming from the Abrahamic religions, like the Hebrew language, of course Greek, and of course Christianity, most noticeably today. And when a name has links to Christianity, this is what I tend to say, and it became popular because a saint had this name, but this is where the name Zachary actually kind of differs from the rest of the popular Christian names. The name Zachary didn't become popular because a saint had the name. I mean, there is/was a Saint Zachary. Do you talk about saints in the past tense? I don't know, maybe saints are still with us to this day, I don't know, but there was a person called Zach who became a saint, but he was a bit more recent. He wasn't one of the big OG saints, so his name, but him being a saint hasn't popularized the name Zachary like other saints. That's what I'm trying to say here. This name rose to popularity in the Christian circles because the name Zachary is featured quite heavily within the Bible itself. You may have heard of the Reformation, but if you haven't, no worries, I'm going to explain it very quickly and briefly here, right now. So the Reformation was a 16th century movement in Christianity. It was started by one Martin Luther, not Martin Luther King Jr., just Martin Luther. The Martin Luther King Jr., his name was inspired by that Martin Luther. This Martin Luther is actually one of my favorite historical figures. He's a really fascinating character. Go read and research as much about him as you can possibly, because he's damn interesting. I mean, I'm not a particularly religious person myself, but history of Christianity, and especially the Reformation, especially Martin Luther, is one of the most interesting periods in human history to have ever happened. It's just, I'm going to talk to you about it now basically, but it's really good, but go look into it more because I'm going to butcher it for you guys now quickly. Cool. He was basically fed up with how the Catholic Church were running things. He was fed up for various reasons, for various things the Catholic Church was doing. One of the most noticeable things was, of course, what are they called? I've forgotten their names. The pay money, or what they called, indulgences. Let's go with indulgences. So basically the Catholic Church were telling people, hey, if you feel bad about something you've done, pay us some money and all will be forgiven. And Martin Luther King was like, nah, that's not on. Like, that's not what this is all about. So he wanted to change in that sort of thing. And that led to the 39 theses, 39 to 93. I've talked about my number dyslexia in the past, 93 thesis, where he hammered to a door very famously about his views of the church, and everything kind of just changed from there. He wanted the church to focus more on the worship of Jesus and God and the Bible itself, as opposed to the likes of popes and bishops and people in the form of God, who he just thought were just like middlemen. He wanted to cut out the middleman, like all these popular companies want to do these days, like Harry's Razors. We cut out the middleman. Martin Luther King wanted to do that, but for religion, basically. Yeah, I just compared the Protestant church to Harry's Razors. So Harry, if you want to sponsor Name Explain, that's your in. You know, I've literally compared you to one of the world's biggest religion. The world's biggest religion? A very big religion in the world, like, so you know. And I'll shave this as well. You guys can shave me as well. This is really off tangent, but yeah, you get the gist. So of course, these reformations eventually led to the creation of the Protestant Church, another major branch in Christianity, which does focus more on the worship of the Bible itself. as opposed to worshipping a pope, because the pope is just obviously of the Catholic Church. But Protestants, they didn't care about the Pope. I mean, I'm sure they like him. I don't know. I'm not either of them. I'm technically Catholic, but that's a story for another time. So if you didn't notice, that was a very, very poor and abridged explanation of the Reformations. I did warn you guys it was going to be a very brief explanation, but you get the gist. But anyway, what has that got to do with the name Zachary, I hear you saying to yourself? Well, after the Reformation, Protestant Christians weren't too fussed with saints anymore, and especially they weren't really that fussed with the saints' names anymore. They didn't want to use these saints' names for their kids anymore going forward. However, of course, they wanted to still have religious names for their children because people love that religion. They love it. As mentioned, Luther started the Protestant church and this whole Reformation movement because he wanted more focus on the Bible, and that's exactly what these future parents did. They drew inspiration from names, not from saints around them, but from the Bible itself. I should get some hairspray, shouldn't I? That'd be good. Anyway. And with there being 8 Zacharys in the Bible, it made a load of sense that this name would become popular. It was just leaping out the page for them, just Zachary, 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 Zachary. Was that 8? I don't know, but you get the gist. That name was everywhere in the Bible. These parents wanted a name in the Bible that wasn't particularly saint related, and Zachary just fit the bill. So it was thanks to Martin Luther and the Reformation that made Zachary the popular name it is today, and the world would be a seriously different place if it weren't for Martin Luther and the Reformations. And one of the ways it would be different is the name Zachary might just not be the popular name it is to this day. I mean, that's only kind of a small change in the grand scheme of the Reformation, but still, names, they impact everything in life, and that's just what I love about them, the fact that all this sort of history can be seen in names and how names can be affected by big historical events, like the Reformations. And I'm not joking when I say that Zachary is a really popular name to this day. In the USA, in 2020, it is the 135th most popular boy's name. But it's actually gone down in popularity. That's still super well done, but like in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, this name was in the top 10, top 20, so I think it peaked at about number 13 or number 16 at one point in the late 80s. There'll be the bar graph there. I'm sure you guys can figure that for yourself. But bar graph, line graph, there'll be a graph there of some sort. This name was super popular at the time, and that has led to today there being lots of famous Zachs in their 30s, 40s, and 20s. And when it came to thinking of famous Zachs, there were so many to choose from. There's Zac Efron, the High School Musical boy, and just general actor now. He seems like a good egg. I didn't really watch High School Musical as a kid, but I'm sure a lot of you guys did. It wasn't really for me, but he's gone on to do some really good fun acting stuff. There's also Zach Braff, the guy from Scrubs / director now, I believe, and he just does a lot, really. Then there's also Zach Galifianakis from The Hangover, comedian in general. Between two ferns with Zach Galifianakis, he's a really, really funny dude. Big fan of Zach Galifianakis. But I've said it too many times, I was going too good. And then in regards to a fictional Zach, we have Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell. Big Saved by the Bell fan back in the day. Haven't watched it recently. Don't know how well it holds up. Let me know down in the comments how well it goes these days. And in regards to a video game Zach, we have Zachary Hale Comstock from BioShock Infinite. Man, oh man, oh man, I love the BioShock games. They're just some great narratives. And you know what? I think Infinite might be the best. Once you play Infinite as well as the Burial at Sea DLC, good game. I might get it. It's on the Switch, I think. I think all the BioShock games are on the Switch. I might get those. I might play them all through again because they're really good, fun, good games. Gameplay's a bit boring, I suppose. It's just generic first person, pew pew pew. But the storylines are amazing. Zachary Hale Comstock's a really good villain. Go play them if you haven't already, or go spoil them down in the comments below. Go spoil it. Go find the biggest BioShock spoiler and just say it down in the comments. Just do it. We're always told to not give away spoilers, but let's break them out. It's 2021. We can spoil things if we want to. Just BioShock, because there's lots of things that they didn't deserve spoiling. Actually, no, go spoil Game of Thrones as well. People should have seen that by now. But anyway, that's just about everything you guys need about the name Zachary. But what are your thoughts on this name? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Do you know anyone with the name Zachary? Are you called Zachary yourself? Let me know down in the comments below. Looking forward to hearing from you guys on this one. And of course, I just want to share some of the thoughts you guys had on last week's name of Yolanda. JFTV said, Super Typhoon Yolanda was the local name of Tofu Haiyan that hit the Philippines in 2013. I've also seen people name Yolanda in the Philippines. So this is something quite a few of you guys mentioned in the comments about this massive typhoon that hit the Philippines named Yolanda. And I'm sorry I didn't mention that at one point. That didn't really come from my research, but it's interesting how even though this typhoon had a lot of devastation in your country, the name Yolanda is still present in the country. I'd be curious to know if since that typhoon, if Yolanda's dipped or rose in popularity. I imagine dipped. I can't imagine people want to name their kids after a really devastating typhoon, especially in the Philippines. But let me know in the comments if you know about that as well. Always love hearing from you guys about these things. James Russell says, I don't know why, but it's a name ever since I heard it, I just really liked it. It seems so unique, but not outlandish. I can get behind that. Maybe it's because I'm wearing a shirt covered with sharks with my too much chest. I haven't noticed how much chest I've had out in this video. Sorry about that. Sorry about Amber having to look at that as well. But yeah, unique, but not too outlandish. Like me. And Christina Stone said, evidently, I'm not of Veruca, but my cousin's ex-girlfriend is named Veruca. I can't remember if it's with a K or a C. So of course this was about the name Veruca. I asked if any of you guys knew any real Verucas, like Veruca Salt, IRL in Willy Wonka, but I want to know if you know any Verucas IRL. And someone clearly did, but this is the most high school thing. Like this is the most like schoolyard thing. My cousin's ex-girlfriend knew this. It's like, my brother's mate's dad, he works for Nintendo and he said this. Like, I don't know, I just found that funny. I like the fact that there is possibly a Veruca out there somewhere. Thank you very much, that made my day. And that has completed another round of the alphabet. We've done A to Z on names twice now, and I'm going to mix things up going forward, I think, at least for a little bit. I'm going to see how this goes. If it doesn't work out too well, then we'll go back to the alphabet, but I'm going to try something a little bit different. I want you guys to suggest names down in the comments below, and I'm going to pick 3 of those names you guys suggest, and I'm going to put them in a poll for patrons to vote on. So you guys are going to have a say, but it's going to be the patrons who make that final decision. So if you do enjoy the channel, want to help support it, and have a say in what names get explained, then please do consider becoming a patron. There'll be a link down below. I rambled on about it far too much, but also, of course, please do leave names down in the comments below as well, because you guys are going to have much more of a say in what names get explained. Goodbye, Alphabet Sir Cycle. It's been fun. We might come back to you sometime in the future, but for now, just going to try mixing things up, see how it goes. Let's see, eh? But anyway, that's way more than enough for myself. Thank you guys all so much for this another fun circle around the alphabet. And of course, don't forget to go join the Facebook group of Friends of Name Explain, and don't forget to go follow me on Instagram at NameExplainYT. And of course, don't forget to go leave some names down in the comments below. Okay guys, take care.